What's going on? Yeah, Debonair D. And I already slightly spoke on this on the podcast, but of course, I know a lot of people don't want to sit through an entire podcast, so I wanted to give it right back to your motherfucking ass right here. And, I just wanted to give my thoughts on the Rico Reckless and the FBG Duck so called beef. And, I also wanted to go a little bit deeper and just kind of because their, like I said, so-called beef is analogous to a lot of situations that a lot of people have, especially in the streets. So, first off, for those of you who are unaware of the situation, of course, you all know who FBG Duck is and Rico Reckless is. And FBG Duck, not too long ago, just a couple weeks ago, he sat up there and got a deal from Sony. And apparently, according to him, it's $1 million deal. So, of course, he's doing well. He finally came up. And, like I said in the podcast, shout out to FBG Duck. He's been, the nigga's been in the streets. He's been on fire since like 2012. But, unfortunately, due to his, him and his gang's discrepancies with Chief Keef and his guys, he never really got the limelight that he truly deserved, but he's getting it now. You know what I'm saying? FBG Doug has always been hot. So shout out to him. But, he made the song called Slide, which did really well. I just checked, it had 14 million views and counting. It hasn't even been out a year yet, and it already has 14 million views, no world star, nothing. And that was actually before the deal. So, that might be like his number one hit once, the deal, once Sony starts promoting his music and giving him the marketing he deserves. So, he's really going hard right now. And Rico Reckless sat up there and took the beat. And the audio was released in April, just April 14th, so just a few days ago, like a week ago. And he was once again dissing Tuka, which he's been dissing Tuka since, at least about 6 months. I remember he was doing that a little bit last year. But he also sat up there and dissed FBG Brick, who, for those of you who don't know, that's FBG Duck's brother, blood brother, who was unfortunately killed in Chicago due to gun violence. So now that I gave you guys a little bit of a background, I wanted to just say this. I never have a problem with rappers making music, whether it's music talking about drugs, talking about girls, doing drills, as Chicago niggas would say, gang banging, whatever the case is. And I definitely don't have a problem with rappers dissing each other, because whether or not people want to admit it or not, hip hop was founded on rappers dissing each other. Rappers who, because it's always been a competition. It should be a competition. So rappers have always dissed each other, especially in places like New York. That's how hip hop was founded. So I have no problem at all. I actually, in a way, encourage it. For a rapper to come out and make diss songs, because you're a rapper, you're an artist, so you make music. That's what you do. So however you're feeling, put it on a song. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people were kind of looking at him crazy when he made that Hit 'Em Up song last year. I know, actually, that was 2016, wasn't it? I can't remember, man. But when he made the Hit 'Em Up song, a lot of people were kind of saying, oh, this nigga want to die. He want to be a pack. But, most people who he dissed in that song, they took it all in stride, because they realized he was just doing that to gain fame and notoriety and put his name out there, which he successfully did. And people understood, he was kicking it with Herb after that, kicking it with Bibby, I think. Ide, I mean, that didn't really, most people didn't take that too seriously, you know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't supposed to be serious. He's just a rapper saying, hey, I'm gonna be next up in Chicago. You feel me? So look out. All that's cool. But when you come out there and you start dissing dead relatives, dead friends, whatever the case is, man, you reach a whole nother level of disrespect. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with friendly banter. Or maybe it's not even friendly. Maybe y'all really don't like each other. Y'all really want to throw them things. Y'all really want to shoot. But there's certain lines that you just don't cross. And dissing dead people, that's lame, man. That's lame. You're dissing somebody who not only doesn't even have a chance to defend themselves, but you're not really even dissing them. All you're doing is disrespecting their family members, their loved ones, their friends and family that oftentimes have nothing to do with any of that. You know what I'm saying? For example, Tuka. Tuka's probably one of the most disrespected niggas ever in the history of niggas. I mean, seriously, in the history of niggerdom, I don't think any dead nigga's been disrespected more than Tuka. Um, and the sad part is, yeah, I know when a lot of people like Chief Keef and niggas on that side, when they're saying that, they are trying to be disrespectful to the niggas like Duck and Jay and niggas from the STL side, or just anybody on that GD side, period. But what they're failing to realize is that his mother has to hear that, his father has to hear that, his grandmother, his family members that have nothing to do with the gang life, his friends who had nothing to do with the gang life, and they have to deal with that level of disrespect. And like I said, they have nothing to do with the streets. Just dissing dead people is just lame, period. Especially when you had nothing to do with it. It's one thing to you take a nigga out, or you and your niggas take a nigga out and you beef with a nigga. You like, yeah, that's why we got him. I'm smoking a woo 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 woo. But when you had nothing to do with that, you know what I'm saying? It's just lame, man. It's lame, and you reach a whole new level of disrespect. And the sad part is, this nigga Rico Reckless. I fuck with Doug, but I also fuck with Rico as well, man. He makes great music. He's got good energy. He just makes good music, and not just on the music tip, but when you watch his interviews, he's got a personality that's magnetic. He's charismatic, and he's the type of guy you want to listen to his interviews. A lot of his interviews have more views than some of his music videos, just because he's entertaining to listen to and watch. So when you have somebody who has such potential like that, making moves like this, dissing people who not only were always against him, but dissing people who were once in his corner, it's just foolish. It's foolish. And what I was saying in the podcast was, make sure y'all check out that podcast on my channel. But what I was saying in the podcast was, regardless of how tough you are or how tough you think you are, it only takes one nigga. And this nigga could be the second toughest nigga in the world, or he could just be some scrub who had no business doing any of that street shit. He can take you out. You know what I'm saying? It takes one gun, it takes one bullet, or one knife, or whatever the case may be. It only takes one incident to completely eradicate you from this planet. And once that happens, you can't come back. Or somebody who has nothing to do with anything, or some niggas who really are about that business, they come and see about you, and they make provisions for you to do something that ends up putting you behind bars for the rest of your life, which is damn near worse. You know what I'm saying? So when you're making all these diss songs and you're moving like this, you're moving like you're untouchable, you're making provisions to end up in prison, or you're making provisions to just end up dead. And I don't want to see any black man get gunned down, but a lot of this shit could be avoided. So, I'm saying all this to say, let this be a lesson learned, man. When you got a problem with your brother or your cousin or just a partner of yours or whatever the case may be, man, a lot of situations can just be resolved through a simple phone call. A simple phone call. And if the situation can't be resolved, link up and just fight it out if that's what you choose to do. But in all actuality, man, a lot of times it don't even call for that, man. If you just don't agree, you're not seeing eye to eye with somebody, just say, hey, man, well, I agree to disagree, click. And if y'all see each other, y'all don't have to speak, but it shouldn't be no problems. And if it is a problem, fight it out, man. You ain't got to reach for no gun and start dissing dead relatives and bullshit like that, man. That's completely uncalled for, especially when you have such potential like Duck. You have such potential like Rico Reckless. And the sad part about the situation is, this nigga Rico, we'll never get to see him collaborate with a lot of very popular artists in Chicago because he disses every goddamn body. Like I said, he thinks he's untouchable. Ain't nothing happened to him yet, which I'm hoping it don't, but ain't nothing happened to him yet. So he thinks the only thing that happened to him was that nigga Mister caught him in a gas station, and both of them niggas, clown themselves with that situation. I don't know who released that video, but if it was one of them involved that released the goddamn video, I don't know why you put that out. But anyway, that's the only thing that's really happened to him through these 2 or 3 years of dissing everybody like he's crazy. So he's gained his ego. He's built his ego up like he's untouchable. But like I said, it only takes one person. And, a lot of times, man, legends have been taken out by a nigga who you would have never expected it. When they run up on your motherfucking ass with that burner, you look at them like, because you would have never expected it. You would have never expected it. It might be a face you never seen before, or a face you seen before, and you never in your last thoughts imagine it would be him. And guess who runs up on your ass? No mask, with that burner in his hand. So for all you people, man, who you act like Rico Reckless, and you act the fool, man, take heed. And what I was saying, I kind of got off track, but we'll never get to see music with Rico Reckless and FBG Duck, probably. Even if it doesn't end up violent, the situation doesn't end up violent, they end up seeing about each other, we'll never get to see any music between the two of them. And they're two of the hottest niggas in Chicago right now. We'll never see music with Rico and Duck. We'll never get to see music with him and Billionaire Black. And he's, a lot of people say Billionaire Black is a snitch. Me personally, I haven't looked up the paperwork, so I'm not going to put that on him. Which I got another video talking about that. But we'll never get to see music with Duck, Billy, Cash Out, Lil Mister. Probably won't get to see music with Lil J. I mean, just all these goddamn people he's been fucking with, and he has so much potential. So I've pretty much got my point across, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if you like the video, and don't forget to share it if you really like it. You want other people to hear the message as well. And as far as my social media goes, my Instagram is #1 Debonair D, just like my YouTube. So #1 DEBONAIR letter D, and my Facebook is Dimitri Middleton, DIMITRI spacebar MIDDLETON. You feel me? So DIMITRI MIDDLETON. So I appreciate you guys watching, man. Peace.